Hi, my name is Sarah Jane Chapman. I am a yoga therapist, tarot reader, and astrologer, and I co-created this deck called Be With Your Body Tarot. And we are going to be doing a tarot reading today on the full moon in Leo. So what we're going to do is we're first going to pull two cards that represent both where the sun is and where the moon is, and then we're going to pull a couple cards to see what this energy is going to bring up for us this time. So the first card we're going to pull is the star. The star is the card that represents Aquarius energy, and this is where the sun currently is. The star is a reminder that we have community and support. And the star usually comes after the tower card, chronologically within the major arcanas. And the tower card is about destruction and major life changes. And usually that's when we become very aware of our support system, either within our community or maybe feeling more spiritually, hopefully, supported. And then the other card we're going to pull is the Strength card, which is the card that represents Leo energy. And this is where the moon is. This Leo and Aquarius are opposite signs. So the full moon always happens when the moon is opposite from the sun. So full moon, it's Aquarius season. The full moon will be in Leo. And the strength card has a couple layers to it. Sure, it's about strength. Sure, it's about like feeling powerful. It's really about discerning how to use your power, how to use your energy. And sometimes that means that we go into something with all of our might. And sometimes that means that we pull back a little bit. And only you will know what the right thing to do when the time comes. So, keeping those two cards in mind, we're going to shuffle and see what else is in the cards for us today. So the first card that I pulled three cards. The first card that I pulled in the placement was what our body wants us to know. Being a yoga therapist, being an embodied astrologer, I always love to check in with my body because my mind can often trick me a little bit, but my body will always tell me the truth. So, what does my body want me to know? And we have the nine of feet reversed. So if you're familiar more with the Rider-Waite-Smith, this is like the nine of pentacles reversed. And so this means that we actually have worked so hard for something. Each of the suits has their own timeline, has their own like energy that it pulls into it. And the feet suit or the pentacles takes years. And this is a nine. So we have been working so hard for something, but we think we need to be further along than we actually are. And this card in this placement is a reminder, is our body telling us, like, appreciate the effort and the growth that you have, even if it's these like little baby steps. Try not to force yourself to go beyond what is available to you right now. Not saying it won't be, but what is available for you in this moment. And come back and appreciate the work that you have really put into this energy. The second card is what we are letting go. So, full moons are always a really beautiful opportunity to let something go, to release something. And we got the devil. So, the devil is one of those cards that is tricky, right? It's a trickier card. And when people see it, it's like some of the other cards like death, it has that word, it has the name of the card, brings up whatever feelings it does, which are usually challenging feelings. But what the devil really is trying to teach us is that we get stuck in cycles, that we get stuck in our own type of addiction. And that could be literal addiction, like drugs and alcohol, sure. But also it could be being addicted to our phones, being addicted to perfectionism, being addicted to a certain way of thinking or a certain way of being. And when we notice that we get stuck in these cycles, when we get pulled back into the undertow and we can't get out of them, we can't change them, when we feel really rigid about something, when we feel obsessive about something, then that is a clue that it's time to seek support. There's two people on this card, right? So when we feel shame, pain, stuckness, finding someone that you feel connected to help you to get out of those cycles. And so this is what we are being asked to release is like look at the cycles that you are stuck in. Look at the parts of yourself that you're having a really hard time letting go of. Ask for that support and then start to let those things go. And of course, it's always easier said than done. Usually it's like it's a ball of yarn that we are going to slowly untangle. And hopefully eventually it will be open. And then I asked, what kind of support do we need during this time? So if we're, feeling like we need to be further along, and I almost wonder if with the devil card being what we need to let go, it really is this like perfectionism is the thing that we're going to need to let go of and letting it be messy. And if I'm going to pull my astrology brain into it, our north and south nodes have just adjusted a couple weeks ago, or collectively. So the north node, what we are being called to bring in, it just moved into Pisces, which is about being in the unknown. It's about being in the messy middle parts. And the South Node just moved into Virgo, what we are all at being asked to like release to get rid of. And Virgo energy, when not supportive, is perfectionistic. So I do believe that's probably going to be a big theme that shows up for this full moon in Leo. And so going back to how we can be supported within this, we have the Four of Eyes reversed, or if you're familiar, it's like Four of Swords reversed. And that's telling me that we are not resting enough. We're not being as introspective as we probably could be. And we've got too many things on our plate. And this makes perfect sense, right? If we're trying to do, go, 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 it's hard to be. So, what is one simple thing? Don't like add a whole new routine for yourself because if you're already overloaded, like that's not realistic, right? But what is one simple thing that you can do to kind of cultivate a little bit of space in your day? Maybe it is a yoga practice. I have a lot of them. I have a lot of 20-minute yoga therapy practices. Maybe it's just like you put your phone away for the morning time or at night. Maybe it's like these little habits to help you to have just a little bit more space. Know that you don't have to do it all yourself. You actually can't do it all yourself. You actually can't. You probably need support. So how could you ask for that support? And I'm going to call back in our two cards that kind of represents Aquarius energy, the star, and the strength energy, Leo. And so remember, the star is a reminder that you are supported, that you have community, that you have support. You just have to use it. And you also have to contribute to it, right? Support doesn't mean that it's all for you. It's reciprocal, right? So who are you showing up for and how can you let yourself receive that support? And the strength card, how are you going to use your energy? You have the energy, but the real power comes from how you use it. So, keeping these things in mind, I'm sending you all the love and all the support for this full moon in Leo. I hope you, just for a moment, feel a little bit more peace with yourself, just as you are.